13 weeks and some change. I wanted to show a belly update, although there really isn't one. I'm starting to show a little bit, especially after I eat. This is what I'm currently working with. I don't really look pregnant at all, but when I eat a big meal, it's a lot bigger. I think baby's the size of a clementine or a baby carrot or something.
2024 will be a new year. Many things to come, including your move here, Cameron graduating, a new car too, and Caitlin will make you a great grandmother before this year is through. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
I can't even believe I'm making this video right now. I actually already filmed this portion of the video, but I didn't like the lighting because I filmed it kind of late at night and the lighting was changing, so I'm like, you know what, I'm refilming this. And also I forgot to cover some stuff and I feel like a lot of people are gonna have a lot of questions. So I made sure to write everything down on my phone, everything that I want to cover and talk about. And like I said, I just still can't believe I'm making this video. It's so weird. Never in my life did I think right now I would be filming this video. So as you can see, I am pregnant. I feel like I've kept this a secret for a really long time. I'm actually 17 weeks today, which is so crazy. I feel like it's gone by so fast ever since I found out. I'm looking at my pregnancy app I have. What's the app called? What to Expect is the name of the app. I used to have the Flow app. I feel like it gives you more information and it's free. But anyways, I'm getting off topic, but I'm 17 weeks today. Baby is as big as a large onion. 23 weeks to go, it says. So like I said, I feel like I've kept this a secret for a really long time. It's been so hard to not really show my stomach in videos. Like, I'm not really showing that much, but I definitely do have a bit of a belly, but it's kind of like that in between, like, is she pregnant or is she just gaining weight in her stomach? Like, it doesn't really look like a pregnant belly. I feel like in my last vlog too, especially when I was working out and then I was wearing this like beige set, I had to actually take out a bunch of clips because I'm like, this looks a little sketchy and suspicious, but I don't know if you guys would even think of anything because obviously you don't like see me in a relationship, you don't see a guy around, so you're probably like, who the hell is the dad? Which I wanted to get into because I know that's gonna be like one of the biggest questions because I don't show my relationship. The reason being, I have just been really private with that part of my life, and I've been really private with that part of my life for a really long time. I'm trying to like figure out like how much I want to share just for the sake of the other person and my privacy and just, I don't know. It's not like I want my entire life on the internet. Actually, a little bit over a year ago, we took some time apart and we were working on ourselves, and this person has been in my life for so long, like 6 years almost, and I'm not trying to keep him a secret or anything. I'm sure you guys will see him in future vlogs since the news is out and everything, but just for the sake of our relationship and working on things, I didn't want it to be on the internet, and I just kind of wanted that part of my life to be personal. So that's why I haven't showed my relationship. But I know like if you saw this on Instagram first, you guys were probably like so confused, and I totally get that because if someone that I followed announced that they were pregnant and I had no idea they were in a relationship, I'm so nosy myself and I would be like, oh my gosh, who's the dad? So that's that situation. That was like one of the first things that I wrote down because I'm like, so many people are gonna have so many questions, and I guess I was also kind of nervous to announce this, and I think I'm just getting inside my own head because I am someone who always had this specific timeline for my life. I wanted to be engaged, I wanted to get married, get a house, and then have children. And the fact that my life didn't go that way, and I feel like I'm doing things backwards. Like when I first found out, which I'm gonna get into in a second, but when I first found out, that's all I was thinking about. And I've had this timeline in my head for the longest time, and that's strictly how I wanted my life to go. This is the way for every single girl. Like every single girl dreams of her engagement and getting married and her dream wedding and her dream wedding dress. And so when I first found out that I was pregnant, it wasn't a super positive experience, which I also wanted to get into and shed light on. And I don't want this to come across the wrong way at all, because I am so happy. I feel so blessed and grateful to even have this opportunity, because I know every woman out there does not, and it can be a really big struggle for some women. I know it's not easy for everyone, and it's such a sensitive topic for some, so I don't want to come off as I wasn't grateful or blessed for this opportunity, because I am, but I know that not everyone has a super positive experience when they do find out that they're pregnant. My reasoning being that it's just not the order of things that I wanted my life to go in. And so that really took a toll on me. It was giving me so much anxiety. So now I'll get into how I found out. It was the day after my Madewell event, which is all the way back in November. So my period was, I think it was 4 days late. It was either 4 or 5 days late. And I've never been late that long with my period. I got off birth control, which I've talked about on my channel, last December, like December of 2023, right? No, December of 2022 is when I got off birth control. And the reason I even went on birth control was because my periods were super irregular, and I was diagnosed with PCOS at a very young age. I think I was 12. I want to say 12 or 13, and that's when they put me on the pill, which, thinking back to that now and knowing what I know now, I wish I never went on it, because I just feel like that's so young, and to just diagnose someone with PCOS, put them on the pill, and just be like, forget it, take this pill every day, you'll be fine. I don't know, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way, and if you're on the pill, that's great, but just the fact that I've been on it for that long was stressing me out, so that's why I took myself off of it. But since I got off the pill, my period was pretty regular, which I did not expect, because my periods were so irregular before going on birth control, and that's why I went on it, was because they were irregular, and obviously that's not good. Coming off birth control, my periods were super regular. I was writing it down in my notes on the day that I would get it, and you know, it was like sometimes it would be like a day or two off, but it was never that long. Like I never missed it for that many days, and I just got so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, this cannot be real. I need a little water break. It's so hard for me to talk for long periods of time without stopping and like having to take a deep breath, because I get so out of breath from talking. Just something in me told me that I was pregnant, and it wasn't even just the fact that I missed it. I don't know, it's just like a feeling, and I feel like as women, or if you are pregnant, like you just have this crazy intuition. I remember after my Madewell event, like that's all that I was thinking about at the event, and I was so anxious, and my boyfriend came with me to help me take pictures and stuff, because I had to take content for the event, and we went to dinner afterwards, and that's all I was thinking about, that's all I was talking about. I'm like, what if I'm pregnant? What if I'm pregnant? And he didn't think that I was, just because my period has been like a little late before, and just how they were irregular like prior to going on birth control. And I'm like, no, like we need to take a test tomorrow, because something's not right. Like this doesn't add up. I've never missed my period for this many days. Something inside me is telling me that I'm pregnant. So the next day I had him go to Target, get me a pregnancy test, and I'm telling you, you know how some people wait like 3 minutes and then they flip it over and look? Like I didn't even have time to flip the test over, because as soon as I was done peeing on that stick, the second line popped up so fast. Like it wasn't even a gradual, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I can vividly see it in my head right now, and I was freaking out. Like, it wasn't even a gradual, like, is it there? Is it 2 lines? Like, it was prominent. It was 2 lines. Right away it showed up, and my heart just dropped in my stomach, and just going through so many emotions at once was so overwhelming because I had so many thoughts racing through my head. And like I was saying earlier about the whole timeline thing, like I just got so much anxiety, and I felt like I failed myself, like I'm doing my life wrong, and I just could not look at it in a positive way at the time. And it was just such a scary and overwhelming thing. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but when you experience it and it's not something that you were prepared for, and it's not something that, you know, was in your timeline of life, it's very scary, it's very overwhelming, and there's just so many thoughts racing through your head at once. I just cried. Like, I was so scared, I was nervous, anxious, all the things. Like, I felt every single emotion, and it's like I knew I was, but getting the confirmation from that test, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be a mom. Like, this is crazy. I was just so down on myself about the way I wanted my life to go and the order of things that I wanted to do my life in. Like I said, I just felt like I failed myself. I failed this baby. All of my dreams and goals of being engaged and getting married and having a house and all of that before having a child was just gone. It was just such an overwhelming feeling. And like I said, I don't want to come across as not being grateful for this opportunity, because I know some people might take that the wrong way, but I also just want to shed light on it because, like I said, not everyone has a super positive experience when they find out, and it can be super scary and overwhelming. And I feel like if more people just shared their true experience, then it wouldn't be like so taboo to talk about stuff like that. Of course, I told my mom first right away. I just sent her a picture of the test because I didn't even know what to say. I was so nervous to call her. I just had like no words. So I sent her a picture of the tests, and she was like, I think she was like, are you kidding or are you joking? Because I'm pretty sure we joked with her about that years ago. She didn't believe me at first, and I just went over her house. We talked about so many things, but fast forward to now, my family knows, my friends know, everyone is so happy, everyone has been so supportive, which I'm so grateful for. I'm so lucky to have such a supportive family and such a supportive mom. My mom is so excited and so happy. She's already bought me a couple of books, she's written in the books, and I just think it's so cute how excited she is, because I know she's wanted to be a grandmother for so long. So I'm just happy that she's so happy, and whenever she talks about it, it just makes me so happy and that much more excited. So like I said, I'm very lucky to have such supportive friends and family. So if you are my friends and family and you are watching this, I love you so much, and I'm so thankful for you. Next on my list is the gender. So yes, I do know the gender. I found out, I think when I was 12 weeks, and they do like a blood test now, so I had to do this genetic testing just to make sure everything's okay. When you get the results back, it tells you the gender, and so I actually found out by accident because I went on my chart app to look at the results from the genetic testing, and I could see the preview of the document before I even clicked on it, and I could see the little gender symbol, and I'm like, oh my God, did I just accidentally find out the gender? Because I did want to do a little cake or something, or I don't know, just something for it to be a surprise rather than just accidentally seeing it on a piece of paper. So that's how I found out, but I do want to keep that to ourselves for a little bit longer. Cheeto's feeder just went off if you hear him nibbling on food in the background. But I'll probably do a little gender reveal on Instagram, so stay tuned for that. But I do know, but I'm curious to see what you guys think it is. Like, am I giving boy mom or am I giving girl mom? I'm curious, so leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think. Next is my due date. So I am due in July, which I don't know why, but I'm so excited to have a summer baby. I feel like that's gonna be so much fun. Or it could be really bad if it's a really hot summer. It's crazy how many times I have to stop and take some water to be able to talk. I get so out of breath. But July 14th specifically is my due date, which is crazy because my birthday's July 22nd. I keep thinking to myself, like, imagine if we're birthday twins, because me and my aunt actually share the same birthday. So that would just be so funny if the baby was born on July 22nd. Summer baby 2024. I feel like so many people are pregnant also. I don't know if it's just because I'm pregnant that I notice it now more, like when people announce it I pay more attention, but I feel like there's a lot of 2024 babies being born, and I also feel like they're all summer babies, like late spring, early summer, which is so funny and so cool at the same time because I feel like I just get to go through this experience with so many other people. It seriously feels like there's gonna be a baby boom in 2024. I wanted to talk about like my symptoms and my first trimester, which I can't even believe I'm already in the second trimester. That's so weird, so crazy. Like, this is going by so fast. I feel so lucky because not once did I throw up. I never really felt nauseous. Like, there would be certain foods that would make me feel gross. Like, if I thought about it, I would be like, ew, that's gross. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to eat that. But never once did I like gag or anything. I never threw up, which I feel so lucky and so grateful because I know not everyone experiences that. And my mom was sick with all three of us, like her whole entire 9 months of pregnancy. And so that made me nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, if that's me, I'm going to cry. Because when I was younger, I would always throw up. I would always have the stomach bug. And it was one of my biggest fears. I would be like terrified to go to school because I would always think that I was gonna throw up. So I started doing a pinky promise with my mom. That must have been like 3rd grade. I would make her pinky promise me that I wouldn't throw up in school, which it's like, how is she gonna know I'm not gonna throw up? But we still do the pinky promise to this day. Like when I leave her house or something and I'm saying goodbye, giving her a hug, we always do the pinky promise. I was so scared that that's how I was gonna be and I was gonna be sick, but knock on wood, I have not once thrown up, which I think is so crazy because I can't even believe I didn't throw up once. I feel like I've had my fair share of throwing up when I was younger. Like, it was constant. I was always throwing up when I was a kid. I remember too just wanting really bland food and also food that I would eat when I was a kid. Like, all I wanted was cinnamon toast. I wanted cereal, I wanted chicken nuggets, mac and cheese. That's all I craved in my first trimester. And sometimes I feel like that's still like I'll want chicken nuggets for dinner or something, but I feel like I've been eating pretty normal and like I normally have before pregnancy. I remember feeling really tired all the time. My head would always hurt, like I would get so many headaches. I just wanted to lay down, which is so unlike me. I never want to lay down or take a nap. I had like no energy, and also I was doing Vlogmas not right after I found out, but you know, it was November 11th and then Vlogmas starts obviously December 1st, and hiding pregnancy during Vlogmas was so hard. Like, I had to cut out so many clips. I had to make myself and force myself to feel good to vlog, and there would be some days where I just didn't feel like talking whatsoever. That was rough, and I was so happy when Vlogmas was over because it was just a lot. Like, finding out that I'm pregnant and then immediately having to do Vlogmas, I was like, this is insane. That was an awful 25 days, honestly, if I'm gonna be real. It was fun, it was festive, I love Christmas obviously, but it was really hard to do and to not say anything or show symptoms, so that was rough. Another weird symptom too that I had in the first trimester, my head always felt super heavy and I felt like I had to go like this all the time and like rest my head. It just felt like I had a bowling ball on my neck, and it just, I don't know, I always had to rest my head. Like, I sat like this, or if I was in the car, I would have to lean my head all the way back. It was extremely uncomfortable, and it lasted like a week, but it was just like the weirdest thing. I don't even know if that had to do with pregnancy, but I remember that towards the end of my first trimester and now being in the second, my tailbone has hurt so bad. I can't even tell you, like, if I stand the wrong way, I just feel like this sharp pain in my tailbone and it hurts so bad. And when I go to sleep at night, I always have to have a pillow between my legs to keep my tailbone in alignment. I don't even know, but it just hurts all the time. And I've seen a lot of women talk about this with pregnancy, and I've heard that it lasts the whole 9 months and doesn't go away. So that's fun, but I feel like I've just had a very lenient pregnancy and I'm very lucky for that. So if my tailbone hurts throughout the whole thing, then so be it. So I feel extremely lucky in that category of pregnancy. It's also just really weird to see your body change from week to week, and it's crazy because the app that I have, I feel like is so accurate. Like it'll say at the beginning of, like, I'm gonna see what it says for 17 weeks because I just feel like it's so on the dot. It'll say like this week you'll start to notice more veins on your body or just things like that, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so accurate and so on point. It's crazy. This week it says you'll probably feel a lot more hungry like you did in the first trimester, which is crazy because I have felt like more hungry than normal and like I was in the first trimester. So I'm like, this app is so specific, but it's weird to see just things grow on your body, and like my chest is so much bigger, which is weird because I've always had such a small chest and I need to get new bras. They're just so tight on me now and they're so uncomfortable that I just can't do it anymore. But with my jeans and everything, like I only have one pair of jeans that fits me. They're from Free People and they're really oversized, and now they fit like snug on me, and I know in a couple of weeks I'm not even gonna fit in them anymore. But it's just weird how your clothes just don't fit all of a sudden. So I need to get sweatpants, like bigger sweatpants, new bras, stuff like that, because stuff is just not fitting the way that it used to, and it's getting to the point where it's uncomfortable. Another thing I wanted to go over was moving and like our living situation, because I definitely do not want to raise a baby in an apartment building. That's just not something that I want to do. This apartment is only 1 bedroom and it just wouldn't work. And also I don't want to keep renting and wasting my money because I'm never going to own this apartment. So it's like I'm just throwing money away at this point. So I'm very glad and grateful that I did have this experience to be in an apartment, because it was always my dream. When I was little, I always wanted to have an apartment, and I'm so happy that I did have this opportunity. But now it's like time to grow up, time to look for a house and a different living situation. Also, if you're in Massachusetts, then you know the struggle. Everything is so expensive. Like the rent is so expensive, houses are so expensive. We've been looking at houses and I've had like 3 mental breakdowns already because it's so difficult to find something reasonable at a reasonable price. Like I can't even, if you go on Zillow, like if you're not from Massachusetts, go on Zillow and go in the Boston area and just look at the houses. Like there will be houses for $700,000 that just look like a dump, and I know that you can renovate a house, but it's like $700,000 is a lot to pay for a crappy house that you have to put more money into it just to renovate it. So it's been very difficult to find something, and it's just making me so anxious because obviously buying a house is not an easy process. It takes a while, and the baby will be here in July and it's already February. Like it's just stressing me out so bad. So that's our plan, is to find a house at some point, because like I said, don't want to rent anymore. It's a waste of money at this point. I'm just throwing money away, and once you have a baby, like that's when you really start having to think about saving and, you know, putting your money into something that you're going to own one day rather than not own, because I'm literally paying someone else's mortgage right now and I don't want to do that. So we'll see what happens with that, there is a lot of options with buying a house. Like, you can buy, you can build, but that comes with a lot of things that you have to think about, like licensing and stuff like that. So it's just a really stressful process. It just makes me so mad because I'll go on Zillow and I'll look at states like South Carolina or Arizona, Tennessee, like Nashville area, and the houses are beautiful, huge, and they're like half the price of the houses in this area and bigger. I know it kind of evens out sometimes with the economy and stuff, but still, it's like Massachusetts is brutal in finding a house and renting. It's crazy. And if you're from here, then you know the struggle because it's not fun. I've also been thinking a lot about my content, and I don't want to become like a family channel. Not that there's anything wrong with family channels, but I don't know. I just don't really like that. And I also don't really like plastering your kid on the internet, because I do want to show the baby. Obviously, that's such a huge part of my life and I want to have that for the memories. But also, Cheeto, do you have to be in your litter box? Like, he's not even going to the bathroom. He's just in one of those moods where he wants to be annoying. But it's been like 5 minutes. What are you doing? I'm not really gonna know until obviously the baby is here, but I definitely don't want to be a family channel. Like, I love the type of content that I film now, but it's just gonna be like that plus a child now, which is gonna be so funny. But I think I pretty much covered everything. I feel so relieved that you guys know now and that I don't have to like tiptoe around it and feel just inauthentic, because I think that's kind of why I have been in a vlogging rut a little bit, because it's just weird not saying anything about it and I just feel like I'm not being true and authentic, and it's just like a weird feeling. So now I feel like I'm back to normal and back to myself, and it's gonna be so much fun to just talk about everything with you guys. Cheeto, he's so weird. I just have you there with me along for this journey. It's so crazy. Like, I still can't even believe it's real. I seriously wake up and still forget sometimes, and I'm like, oh, there's an actual baby inside my belly right now. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I'm sure that something will come up, but there will be so many more vlogs to come. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, I'm just so happy to have you there along with me for this journey. So I love you guys. I will see you in my next vlog.